everybody, welcome back to the channel. Today's Down and Dirty is going to be another short one, but just a quick kind of tip when you're working in clay on a sheep's foot. A lot of people, when they start out, wonder, how do you know when you're kind of getting close to compaction? So first of all, most of your jobs, commercial jobs, even residential jobs where there's going to be a building in an area, you'll actually have a density tester out, and he's going to definitively tell you when you've achieved density. But in a situation like this where it's for a driveway extension, I don't have anyone out here testing. How do you figure out when you've achieved density? So first of all, as is always the case with rollers, you need to establish some sort of a rolling pattern. And what do I mean by that? Well, you need to have consistency in what you're doing. In clay, it's not as critical that you don't over-roll the material, but we've talked about it before on smooth drum rollers. If you over-roll stone, you will actually cause the stone to break down, which actually causes you to lose density, believe it or not. It messes with the density numbers. So you don't want to over-roll materials. Clay, it's not quite as critical, but still at the same time, we need to establish a pattern so that I know when I've hit this area 2 or 3 times. So my pattern is, I roll forward once vibrating, dead roll back, move over a half drum width, vibrate forward, dead roll back, and I do that until I've reached the edge, and then I do the same thing a second time back. So I'm gonna vibrate forward, dead roll back, and this time I'm gonna be moving from right to left, and that way the material has been hit twice, technically 4 times because I'm only moving a half drum width, but I go back over the area 2 times. And the way I know that I've achieved density, this area right out in front of me, you can see is a little roughed up and a little fluffed. But if I back up here, I've only hit that material once, by the way. But if we back up here, you're gonna notice the texture of the material changes. You're gonna notice that it's a little shinier, and it may be hard to pick up on camera, but this material's a little bit shinier. It seems to look a little harder, almost like Play-Doh when you've compacted it and pressed it in your hands. What's happening is on that first pass, the knobs on my sheep's foot are kind of vibrating down, but they haven't quite gotten down to where I'm also compressing the top layer of clay. On my second pass, what generally happens, and again, this comes with time and just kind of looking at the material, but what happens is those knobs, because you're compressing and compressing, get to a point where the drum itself is now coming into contact with the top layer of clay and compressing it as well. And that's why you have a lot shinier look to it than up there where the material still has a little bit of fluff look to it. Again, this isn't always going to be 100% the case. There's, going to be some variety. Another beautiful thing that's helping me out here is we're doing proof rolls all the time. A proof roll, if you're unfamiliar, traditionally you use a loader. You scoop up a big bucket of material so it's real heavy in the front, and then you'll roll back and forth over an area. And where the loader tires create a pretty big depression, you know that you need to roll that area more because it needs more compaction. Well, on this job, we've got a 30 and a 40-ton haul truck hauling material, so I'm getting a proof roll every 5 minutes or so, which is helping out. You're not always going to have that though, so really a lot of it kind of comes down to just getting some seat time and experience and knowing how to read the material. So that's all I've got for today. Sorry if the camera can't really pick it up very well, but I thought I would at least give you an idea of kind of my thought process behind running a sheep's foot and knowing when I've got the material truly compacted. So as always, feel free to drop comments and questions down below. We'll catch you guys on the next Down and Dirty. All right, just kidding, guys. So I actually went and did a second pass over here. So I have vibrated forward like we talked about and dead rolled back. And I did want to get down here and show you. The reason we're still getting a lot of chunkiness here on this material is because it's pretty damp, it's pretty wet, and as you can see, it's sticking to my drum. And so that's going to leave you with a little more of a chunky texture than we would normally get here. But you can definitively see my line right here. Sorry, let's do it in line. My line is right in here, and you can see how much smoother this side is than this side over here. And I'll get you in close so you can really see it. You've got smooth material over here, and it's a lot chunkier over here. That's what I'm talking about. It may have been hard to see from the cab of the machine, but this is what I'm looking for. This is compacted. This is good. I don't have to hit this again. I have the option of kind of dead rolling it some more, but I don't need to hammer this anymore. This is good. I need to make another pass on this side over here. So that's all I got. Wanted to show you guys up close. As always, drop me some questions. Catch you guys on the next Down and Dirty.